I'm Chap Bettis, author of The Disciple-Making Parent, and this is my audio blog, where I read some of my blog posts in audio format for your convenience. Well, in today's episode, we're going to be thinking about barriers to family discipleship. That's right. What are the barriers? What stops us from discipling our children? You know, if we seek to honor the Lord in our family, we can expect opposition. The world, the flesh, and the devil will fight us all the way. But identifying the opposition can help us fight it. I was recently asked what I thought were common barriers to being a disciple-making parent. Well, here's my answer. Family discipleship barrier number one is not knowing what to do. One thing I hear from parents regularly is they don't know what to do. Parents can make discipling their children too hard, thinking they have to do a dozen different things all at the same time. Or they may freeze because they don't know what exactly to do. But by studying the life of Jesus, we can see that he made disciples as he went about life. How? Well, he modeled the life he wanted them to live. He taught them, and then he sent them out to do the same. The Disciple-Making Parent book is intended to help train parents in all these aspects of disciple-making. So the first barrier to family discipleship is not knowing what to do. Family discipleship barrier number two is fear. There are many fears we have as a parent. But here I'm thinking about the fear that my children will fall behind. As parents, we'll make all sorts of choices because we love our children. We want to bless them. We want to give them the best. But what is the best? Well, you know the answer. It's the gospel. And we're surrounded, though, by other parents who are not Christians. And they also want to give their children the best. But that best does not include the gospel. So when we look at other parents, it's easy to feel fear that our children are falling behind. But each parent has to decide whether he's more concerned about his children getting into heaven or Harvard. And we all have Harvards, those worldly successes that we want for our children. But we can only have one first priority. So let's parent by faith and not fear and keep the gospel first. So barrier number two, I think, is fear. A third barrier can be just my own sense of failure at home. Our children often see the worst of us. So it's easy to feel that, I'm not a very good follower of Jesus. And we think, how in the world could I talk to my children about Jesus when they've seen how I've acted this week? Well, the hardest place to live out the gospel is in our homes. Our children don't need perfect parents. There aren't any. Instead, they need to know that their parents see their own need for grace from Jesus. And of course, that means we can ask their forgiveness when we blow it. So barrier number three is my own life at home. Family discipleship barrier number four is lack of accountability. All of us need help staying on track. Though we have the North Star to look at, life storms and pressures pull us in a number of different ways. We all need others to journey with us. And that's why God has given us pastors, the church, and our friends. We travel the long journey together. We need friends who will encourage us in this journey. So I think family discipleship barrier number four is lack of accountability. And then a fifth one that I did not include on the blog post, but a friend wrote in after I sent this out, was busyness. That we're too busy with other things. That's actually related to barrier number two, which is fear, that we're too busy with all the different sports and extracurricular activities and academics, and so family discipleship drops to the bottom. So we're too busy. Lack of knowledge, fear, my own sin, and lack of accountability are all barriers to family discipleship. But the Lord has promised his presence as we seek to obey him. Thank you for listening to the Disciple-Making Parent audio blog. Did you know that I give away the audiobook of the Disciple-Making Parent for free? We are on a mission to equip parents to pass the gospel to their children, to overcome these barriers. Simply send an email to audiobook@theapollosproject.com letting us know you heard about this offer on the podcast. That's audiobook at theapollosproject.com. Thanks for listening.